Terrorists who want to target Homeland Security probably would not be stopped, even at Homeland Security's headquarters. An alarming new report suggests federal buildings aren't safe. We have undercover video of investigators smuggling bomb-making materials past security. And according to the Government Accountability Office, the materials sailed through at 10 different buildings. The report was so troubling, the Senate Homeland Security Committee held a hearing on it earlier today. With me now live, NBC's Pete Williams. Break it down for me.
Well, what happened here is the GAO did something they've done repeatedly over the years, which is to see whether they can get access to federal buildings by carrying in explosive materials. And they say that they looked at 10 separate regions of the country and succeeded in doing this at every region that they tested. They claim that their inspectors carried in, without telling the guards, the two materials that could be assembled to make a working bomb that would have a fairly significant explosive force, and that in every case they tried this, they successfully did it, and that the problem, they say, is that contract guards hired by the Federal Protective Service aren't getting the necessary training. They say the materials that they carried in should have been picked up by the scanners, by the magnetometers or the scanners. Now, what you're looking at here is video that the GAO released here. They say that if the materials they combined were assembled, you would have had that kind of effect. That's the explosive power of the material they were carrying in, and then they repeat this a couple of times. But they say that this stuff should have shown up on the screens and the mags, and the fact is that the inspectors simply don't know what they're doing. They say they're required to have a certain amount of training on how to read these materials, but they're just not either getting the training or they're not responding properly to it. Now, in response to this report, the FPS says they're taking another look at their training and making sure that their people know what they're supposed to be doing.
And no matter how much training you have, I mean, if you look at this report where it says it found one guard asleep on the job after taking a Percocet, it wouldn't matter how well trained you are if you're sleeping. And then combine that with this other report that we're getting today, that hackers have gone into government websites and been able to get past their firewalls. Tell me that story and how concerning that the internet security is for the government.
A completely separate issue, of course, under the general umbrella of security. What this is several government agencies were experiencing what are called denial of service attacks, where a whole bunch of computers around the world are enlisted to sort of gang up on a site and flood it with requests to get in. Nothing was taken out. Nothing jeopardized national security here, but it is a warning that the government websites, these are the public websites where you look up to get somebody's speeches or a schedule or public information. These things were, some of them were slowed down, not all of them. And this attack apparently did go after some private sector sites as well. The New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, both of which say they successfully fought it off. The intriguing thing about this is that while the U.S. government says it cannot confirm the source of the attack, South Korea's intelligence agency is telling legislators in South Korea that it believes the source of the attack was North Korea.
Pete, thank you.
You bet.